Hello and welcome to my 10,000 subscriber Q&A special. Woo! I just wanted to get a few things straight out the gate. First being, if you don't want to demystify my voice, I guess which is to say, if you don't want to lose the magic of, just hearing my voice and nothing else, if you don't want to put a person behind my voice, then I highly suggest that you click off this video. I have a bunch of other videos, or you can look forward to my other videos. But yeah, I guess if you just don't want to know a bit more about me and about the voice, then that's completely fine. It's sort of like, I guess the best way to explain it is when you're watching a YouTuber and they suddenly do a face reveal. It's not that it ruins the content, it's just that you can't unsee their face, and you will always attach their face next to their voice. And when it comes to my line of YouTube content, that's even 100 times more prominent because, voice is like 80% of the appeal. So yeah, that is just to say, if you want to click off, that's completely fine with me. And yeah, another thing that I wanted to say out the gate is I'm gonna try to keep this as raw and as unedited as I can. So this is the real me, this is my real voice, in case any of you were wondering. I hope you guys still like it, though I don't think it's any different from my audios, just a bit more personality, hopefully. Yeah, and also, I hope you are liking the little presentation that I cooked up for this Q&A. I guess I just wanted to keep it a bit more visually appealing, nothing too crazy, but I hope it keeps you engaged throughout the audio. So yeah, well, with the whole thing of it being unedited, if you're gonna hear something, I'm probably gonna stand up to turn on the AC. Because, maybe you guys want it to be completely raw, completely me, so I'm really gonna try my best here. Okay, right, so yeah, that's pretty much all that I wanted to say. We can jump straight into the Q&A. I have it on my phone right here. There's gonna be timestamps up on the screen right now. So if you want to skip ahead to any of these parts or the thank yous at the end of the audio, then you can go right ahead. I wanted to leave most of the thank yous and the rambling towards the end because, you guys came for the Q&A. Right, so the first part is going to be a basic questions. So it's just going to be me answering sort of short-ended yes or no type of questions. The second part is going to be the open-ended. So it's, it takes a bit more explanation, but they're still fairly common. And then the third one is just completely unique. So, I don't know, I guess just sort of funny or really interesting types of questions that only one or two people asked. Okay, enough rambling. First question from Jarvis. Hello, Jarvis. Ever plan on making a Discord server? Honestly, no. As of the moment, no. I'd have to maybe find some moderators that I really trust, and right now I don't see that happening. So no, I will not be making a Discord server for now. QQ asks, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, would you ever create a Discord? So that's related. They just wanted to say, if so, could I participate? Hee. Yes, you can if ever I do, QQ. Thank you. Number 3, do you plan to start a Twitch? I feel like that would be interesting. Maybe some type of gameplay content. I'm definitely planning to make a Twitch, and I'll keep you guys posted on that if ever I do. Number 4, will you ever create a Patreon? If so, will you upload exclusive audios there? So yeah, interesting that you mentioned that, even though I put it right here in the presentation. Yeah, so as you can see on the screen right now, I do have a Patreon and it's live, but which is to say that the website is up and it's actually public. But, excuse me, you can't really visit it right now. I don't want to link it anywhere because it's a work in progress, as you can see. There's no content. It's just like I have the basics down and there's a few posts, the thank you post and the drawings and all that stuff. But I don't want to link anything, and I don't want you guys to pay me when there's no content whatsoever. So I want to get some content out the way for the first few levels, first few tiers rather, and then I'll link it. So as you can see, there's like, I already have it planned out. I made a post on YouTube a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, asking if you guys would be interested in me making a Patreon, and it's the same type of deal. I just ironed out all the details of the perks, which you can read on the screen right now. So there's stuff like access to community posts, of course, blooper reels, Q&A, more Q&A videos, personalized thank you messages, all that type of stuff, poem readings, short story readings, depending on the tier, of course. So if you're interested in all of that, I'm definitely planning on making a Patreon, and it's actually already up. I just have to, again, make a bit more content. And then there's the Nora League Champion. You know, I find the theme kind of cute. So yeah, I will be making a Patreon. Long answer short. Number 5 from Anonymous. On your name/logo, what are those characters next to the English spelling of Nora? So they're Korean characters for Sangwoo, which is a character from Killing Stalking. Number 6 from Anonymous again. Excuse me. Oh, I'm really curious about how you pronounce your name. Sorry if that's weird. In my country, it's a girl name. That's why I'm asking. I have heard that it is a girl name. For the most part, it's a girl name. It's very feminine, which is, I guess, part of the reason why I find it so nice. It's Nora. Well, in other countries, they probably pronounce it a different way, but for me, I say Nora. Thank you for asking. Number 7. Do you draw traditionally or digitally? And that's by Yana. Or Yana? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I draw both. I've been drawing for a while now, and most recently I've been doing digital, but for most of my life I've been drawing pen and paper traditional. Number 8. Do you have a favorite art medium? If so, which is it? By Anonymous. I do. As far as what I use, my favorite is traditional because there's just something so intimate about it, and you know, you have to really pick your poison with how creative and how out there you can be, because you can't just Control Z or erase completely, you know, so it's kind of fun. As far as mediums that I don't do, definitely charcoal drawing, and oil painting. I think those are super cool. Number 9, even though speed paint lost, sad emoji, can we still see some of your digital art pieces? I will maybe upload some old ones, though it is funny that you mentioned that, Emma, because I saw that, yes, Q&A did get 61% of the votes, which is why I'm doing it, but speed painting did get 35%. It was a lot closer than I expected, so voila. I decided to make it half Q&A, half speed painting. So you can see right now on the screen, I will play a video of me drawing something a little bit for the 10K, though it's not anything like my other ones where it's just a drawing of me. It's actually a drawing of another person, as you'll see. Not another person, it's just whomever. I was just throwing down some lines and seeing where it could go. And it's only a 25-minute clip, so I'm actually probably not going to speed it up. I'm just going to play it out how I normally draw, like the speed at which I normally draw. So if that's interesting to you, that's super cool. If not, that's super cool too, I guess. I don't even know what I'm saying. But yeah, I hope you guys appreciate it, and you guys definitely deserve for me to do this type of stuff. On the left-hand side, you know, you have the chapters, so if you skip ahead, you'll know at which chapter you're at. And hopefully that makes it a bit more convenient. So yeah, I'll let that play out as I continue to answer more questions. Okay, let me pull it up on my phone right now. Wania SM with a rose, and Dean. How old are you? I am 20. Anonymous asked, where are you from? That is a secret. I may be pulling out. Yeah, that is definitely the wrong Google Doc. Sorry, y'all. Okay. I think this is the right one. It should be. Yes, okay. Nadi and Mia. How tall are you? And height reveal, please. I'm somewhere between the shortest man in history and the tallest man in history, I think. Wania SM. What's your favorite color? It's red, but if I'm feeling a little crazy, it's crimson red. Ooh, so crazy. What's your zodiac sign? By Anonymous. It is Scorpio. But if you're interested of my Chinese zodiac sign, it's horse. I believe that's the Chinese zodiac. I'm here of the horse. Katara asks, what's your love language? Ooh, I'm not too sure exactly, but I guess you guys can pick it up from my audios. It's probably words of affirmation and a bit of physical touch, I would say. Anonymous asks, if you don't mind, what's your MBTI? So I read the questions, of course, most of the questions beforehand, so I could prepare some some answers. And I actually took the MBTI test again just for you, whoever asked it. And I got, on the screen right now, I'll pull it up, I got INFJA. So yeah. Now, Anonymous asks, what things make you instantly happy? Honestly, right now, well, there's a lot of things that make me happy. I try to just I try to count my blessings, basically. And most recently, I've had a very big blessing, which is you guys, this channel. Being able to help all of you and read all your comments and, just generally all the love and support that I've gotten makes me instantly happy whenever I think about it. So thank you guys so much for that. Jan or John or Jan, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that again, asks, what's one thing that you're looking forward to? Well, in the morning and just sort of, I guess, in my day-to-day life, I am really looking forward to, just going through the comments, going through the likes, I'm not going through the likes, generally just visiting my YouTube channel and seeing the growth and seeing all the people, like the real people sharing their stories. I've really been looking forward to seeing all that stuff. So to all the people that leave those nice comments, and even to those who don't, because obviously most of you don't, I'm always looking forward to seeing how you react to my videos and to being able to continue helping all of you with my content. Katara asks, what are your pet peeves? And an anonymous person asked, sort of related to it, what's the biggest ick you have right now? So two things, definitely. Number one, my biggest pet peeve would be people who don't say thank you or are just generally disrespectful to service workers. You can tell a lot about a person by how they treat service workers, in my opinion. And number two, something lighter, I guess, is people who don't wash their hands after going to the bathroom. As a guy, I'm not sure how it is for girls, but as a guy, it is just... Oh, sorry, and any other gender. As a guy, it's the amount of times that you see people just walk in, take a wee, and then leave is just insane to me. Anonymous asks, what do you do when you're feeling frustrated? So I guess maybe after seeing that pet peeve, what do I do? I generally just take myself out of the situation. I've been getting pretty good at trying to keep things more objective and trying to put logic into my decision, so I don't make any flawed decision because of my emotions. So generally just taking a step back and keeping my emotions in check, which is something I've learned to do over time. It's not something that I just did overnight. Deceased Shaw and Lou ask, do you have any other hobbies or interests? What inspired you to do said hobby or interest? And Misa asks, how do you like to spend your free time? And M asks, what's your favorite way to spend your downtime? Thank you as always for your hard work. Well, thank you very much, M. I appreciate all the kind words. For hobbies, well, I'm sure you guys picked it up. I do a lot of drawing. It's on and off for me. I haven't drawn. The first drawing I did in quite a long time was the 1K thing, and thankfully it turned out all right. But yeah, I do a lot of drawing. I watch a lot of YouTube. I'm a big NBA fan, big basketball fan, big Pokemon fan, big Minecraft fan, which I'll get into, I guess, in the next few questions. In a future question. So yeah, I just generally surf the internet. I draw, and I do YouTube stuff. It's a hobby that's it's a passion that is so fun that it's basically a hobby, I guess is the best way to put it. So yeah, I guess those are the top three things. Shaw and QQ asks, if you could go anywhere on Earth, where would it be? And what are your top three countries you'd like to visit? So the top three countries, number one is definitely Japan, Tokyo, Japan. Number two would be France, definitely France. And number three, I'm not too sure. Maybe either Amsterdam or the Netherlands. I'd say either of those two. Misa Courtney Tay And Tori asked, do you have any pets? And an anonymous person said, do you have any pets as well? By the way, your audios are very well done and the quality is great. You're awesome. You're awesome. You're awesome and keep doing you, bro. Did you just bros on me? I guess so. That's too bad. I do have a pet. I have one dog. And thank you very much for the kind words, whoever left that second comment. What would you like to have as a pet? Feel free to go wild with your answer, another anonymous person asked. Definitely one of the big cats. Either a tiger, a lion, jaguar, panther, I'd say. Or giraffe. I feel like that'd be so just crazy. Okay, Nana or Nana? 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 Okay, I'm not too sure. Asks, how would you describe your fashion sense / style? I'm definitely comfort over just showing off, but I feel like it's a nice looking type of comfort, you know, something comfy. But whenever I'm in the mood, I can definitely try to show off. I think I have pretty good fashion sense, but something clean. If it's not comfy, I look clean. That's the sort of style that I'm going for. Jasmine asks, who is your celebrity crush? Ooh, I'm not too sure. I will have to get back to you on that one. Jasmine. Josie asks, do you ever plan on doing a face reveal? Sort of with the thing with, the whole demystifying my voice, putting a person on my voice. Plus, it's extra because I'm actually showing my face. I'm big into privacy. So I'll say from the jump that I won't be doing a face reveal. Nabi asks, is English your first language? And J. Origa, Lursu or Lirsu, and Anna or Anna asks, are you multilingual? If yes, what other languages are you fluent in? So English is kind of my first language. I've basically been speaking it as much as my other and actual first language. I'd say yes and sort of no. And for the second question, yes, I am multilingual. And no, I will not be telling you what the other language is. Mini Mingy asks, if you were an animal, what would you be? One of those small monkeys, like a capuchin monkey, for sure. Anonymous asks, do you like cold or room temperature water? Depends. For drinking, cold to lukewarm. For bathing, lukewarm to warm. Do you like soda? It kind of hurts my throat, so I don't drink it a lot. Well, it hurts my throat. It hurts my throat because I don't drink it a lot. But yes, I do like soda. Non asks, do you like pineapples on pizza? Yes, and it is my favorite. If you don't like pineapples on pizza, we can't be friends. No, I'm joking. It's chill. It's whatever. But I will perish on that hill. I will defend pineapples on pizza, Hawaiian pizza, till the day that I am gone from this world. Apple juice or orange juice? I'm team orange juice, lol. I respect that. I'd have to say apple juice though. Coffee or tea? I don't drink coffee, but it's cool. I'd say tea. Sweet or salty? Sweet. I don't have much of a sweet tooth, so I'll still say sweet. Arya, Mel, Enna, and Mini Mingy ask, cats or dogs? Ooh, I love both so much, but I think I love dogs to death, but I think I'll have to lean towards cats. Sorry if that disappoints anyone. Marvel or DC or both? My favorite superhero is Batman, but I think generally the roster from Marvel is much better all around, so I'll have to say both. Are you more of an introvert or extrovert? It really depends on my mood. I mean, I can choose to be an extrovert when I want, sort of, but I'm definitely more of an introvert. Jazz, I'll say Jazz, asks favorite emojis. The empty bed emoji, and the skull emoji, maybe. Yes. Anonymous asks any car brand you like. I like Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, and especially Rolls-Royce. Tori asks, what's your favorite sport? So there's a bunch. I mean, I like a bunch of favorite. I have. What am I saying? I have a bunch of sports that I like. There's table tennis, there's volleyball, football, but by far my favorite and it's not even close, is basketball. Lou asks, favorite subject in school? Well, aside from phys ed or PE, however you may call it, I'd say physics, for sure. Kami, Jan, or John and Shaw ask, do you have a favorite flower? I do. It used to be the sunflower and then the poppy, and for now, and for the foreseeable future, I would say the dahlia. Misa asks, what are your favorite animals? So my favorite of all time is the cheetah. It's been my favorite ever since I was a kid. Then there's the peregrine falcon. And number 3, and a new one, is the white tiger, which, fun fact, isn't actually its own species. I learned this, I looked it up, and I was completely shocked. I don't know if you guys are as passionate about this as I am. But white tigers, it's just caused by a mutation in the pigmentation of a mainland tiger, mostly Bengal tigers. So, fun fact, I guess. Tay asks, what is your favorite weather? And Kami asks, what is your favorite season? So my favorite weather is either light drizzling, so just drizzling, or a little bit of the cool, sort of the gray looking clouds right before it starts raining. And my favorite season is fall or winter, but winter can be a bit too cold, so I'd say fall. Mini Mingy asks, if you have a favorite game, what is it? Oh, thank you for asking. So I have a few. So there's 3 that that I put here. There's Minecraft, there's Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. Those specifically, Black and White are cool too, and all the other Pokemon games are fine. But if your favorite is Black 2 and White 2, we are best friends by law. And my favorite of all time is Persona 5. Enna, Kami, Katara, Melody, and Gizmo, wow, that's a lot, ask, top 3 favorite movies / favorite movie. And an anonymous person asked, favorite trope. So I'll answer the favorite trope first. Definitely romance. Maybe dramatic romance or rom-coms. Excuse me. Oh my. I'm a sucker for a good rom-com, especially a slow burn. Oof, chef's kiss. Top 3 favorite movies. So I listed them down so I don't forget. I'd say, for a little bit of a curveball, my third favorite movie is 12 Angry Men. Oh my. I'm a little gassy today, guys. I'm so sorry. 12 Angry Men. It's like a 1950s movie. It's a black and white, and it's set just in one room. But it's honestly one of the most action-packed movies I've ever seen. So if you want an introduction to the classics, 12 Angry Men, highly, highly suggested. Blah, 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 blah. Number 2 is Pokemon Jirachi Wishmaker. I don't remember all the details exactly, but I just remember loving it so much as a kid. And by far my favorite movie is 3 Idiots. It's a Bollywood movie. And I guess if you want to get to know a lot about me, then you could watch 3 Idiots. Courtney, Melody, and Gizmo ask, favorite TV shows / series. So I listed down 5 here, okay? So the 5th one, which is what I'm currently watching, so I'm not yet done, is The Walking Dead. Super, super good. The 4th one is Season 1. This is in no particular order, aside from the top 3, I guess. Number 4 is Prison Break, but only Season 1. Season 2 gets kind of iffy for me, but Season 1 was super good. 3rd is The Good Place, or it could be 2nd. 3rd or 2nd is The Good Place. Number 2 or number 3 is Peaky Blinders. And number 1 by far is Breaking Bad. I just finished it a few months ago, and boy oh boy, is it so good. Pooja, that's a very cute name, and Ayesha, well, all of you guys have a cute name, ask, do you watch anime? Do you watch anime? If so, which one is your favorite? I do, thank you for asking, and my favorite is Attack on Titan. And an anonymous person asked, top 5 favorite anime. So in really no particular order, and I put down 6 because I just couldn't decide. Haikyuu. I super love Haikyuu, though I'm not finished, so please don't spoil in the comments or whatever. 5th is Slam Dunk. It's the OG basketball / sports anime. Number 4 is Death Note. Number 3 is sort of like my wholesome feel-good type of anime, Kaicho wa Maid-sama, or The President is a Maid. Number 2 is Cowboy Bebop, and of course number 1 is Attack on Titan. Nana and Dasha ask, what's your favorite song at the moment / top 3 favorite songs? Okay, so at the moment, it's definitely Circles by Post Malone. It's honestly been my favorite for about maybe a year now. And in my top 3 favorite songs, so the third one would be Africa by Toto. Sort of my karaoke song, I feel like. Number 2 is Fool on the Hill by the Beatles. I just have a lot of good memories with Fool on the Hill. And by far my favorite of all time is September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. One sec, y'all. Sorry, I just had to drink water. Jasmine and Pooja ask, favorite music genre? And McCann, hello McCann, asks, what's your favorite music genre? Same thing, really feel like this is important for the vibes, etc. I get you. So my favorite music genre, well, there's 4. I can't really pick between the 4. Obviously, there's pop, but that's an easy one. I'll say rhythm and blues, so R&B / soul is also a really good one. And city funk is something that I just got into maybe a year or 2 ago. Super good. And sort of a curveball, again, is acid jazz. So if you're a big fan of Persona 5, like I am, that type of music and their soundtrack is called acid jazz, and I learned it as I was playing, and I've just fallen in love. I can't say that I can't name a lot of songs or much at all, to be honest with you guys, but it's just so good. So I really love acid jazz, and McCann, I hope I passed the vibe check. Anonymous asks, if you could listen to only one song for the rest of your life, what would it be? And Misa asks, if you could pick 4 of your favorite songs to recommend to someone, what songs would they be? So I'll answer the first one first. September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. 100%. If not, maybe Circles by Post Malone. If you could pick 4 of your favorite songs to recommend. Okay. So I'm going to keep it a bit different from my favorite songs. So I listed down 4 that are different from the favorites. I literally just said that. Okay, sorry. So I've been listening to That's Life by Frank Sinatra, but I would like to recommend the Dennis Van Arsen rendition because I think it's a little bit better. I'm sorry, Frank Sinatra, you're a legend. And then Till There Was You by the Beatles. Maybe a bunch of you have already heard that. My feel-good song, one of my favorites, is Blame It on the Boogie by Jackson 5. And a little bit different is Papaute by Stromae, or Stromae, however you want to say it. I'm sorry if I just completely butchered that. Stromae. Yeah, Papaute by Stromae. Super good. It's sort of like a funky disco funk. It's really hard to definitely not disco, but it's really hard to pin down the genres, but it's super good. Okay, moving on. Minnie Mingy, Courtney, Cams, and Dasha ask, who's your favorite musician? Could be a band or just a soloist. That's hard, but I'll have to say maybe the Beatles or Queen. I'm not like crazy of an old head when it comes to music, but I just really like and I gravitate a lot towards a lot of their songs. So, but probably Queen, I would say. As far as a soloist goes, maybe Post Malone, but I'm not too sure about that. Anna asks, what song best describes your life? Ooh, okay. I'd say I'm Still Standing by Elton John. Minnie Mingy asks, do you stan any K-pop groups? If so, what's your favorite / favorites? And if you do stan K-pop groups, who's your bias / biases? I do stan K-pop groups. Thank you for asking. It's sort of on and off for me. I don't listen to K-pop all the time. I'm sorry if that disappoints you. My favorite / favorites. It started with BTS, and then Twice, and most recently and most strongly, a little bit of 17 as well, but most recently is Red Velvet. And my bias is Sulgi, definitely 100%. She actually used to be my wallpaper, my phone wallpaper for a while. I'm so sorry if you guys can hear the burps. If not, I just outed myself. Whatever. If you have a Spotify account, can you share your playlist? I do, but it's personal. So if you guys would like, I could definitely start up a Spotify account under my Nora email and name, and I'll share some of my favorite songs for sure. Do you listen to Frank Ocean? Only 2 songs. I've only heard of 2 songs, Nights and Chanel. And Chanel's actually one of my favorite songs. So, yes, I do listen to very, very little bit of Frank Ocean, but I think he's super cool. Nabi or Nabi asks, do you play any musical instrument? If so, name it/them if there are more than just one. So unfortunately, I do not. But if I would like to play, if I were to play an instrument, in which I will definitely learn in the future, I would love to play the piano or the violin. Anonymous asks, what is your go-to meal/snack? So we're getting into the food territory here. Something that you won't get tired of eating. Oh my. I don't think there's a food like that, but if I had to pick, I would say a really good chocolate chip cookie. Not too sweet, a little salty, and sort of that melty, gooey type of chocolate. J.R. Riga asks, favorite desserts? So aside from the chocolate chip, the crème caramel or the crème caramel, tiramisu, and my absolute favorite, cheesecake. Just a good old-fashioned cheesecake. No need for blueberries or raspberries, just straight up cheesecake. Marnie Wania SM with a rose asks, what's your favorite food/cuisine? So my favorite food, I think, is just the chicken sandwich. And my favorite cuisine would be Japanese, I'd say. I'm a big fan. Or Korean. Layi or Laji Bolola _ simp for Thoma or Thama. I believe that's a Genshin character. Says, what's your favorite junk food? Well, aside from the chicken sandwich, Cheetos barbecue, and the Korean sun chips. I know a bunch of you have tried Cheetos, and especially the Cheetos barbecue. That's my absolute favorite chip. But you guys have to try, if you can, the Korean sun chips. I believe there's a barbecue flavor. It is insane. Moving on, Rain and Pooja ask, do you like to read? If so, what's a book you enjoyed reading? And Cams asks, what is your favorite quote or favorite book? And someone else asked, what's your favorite book genre if you like to read? I do like to read. It's just I don't really read a lot. I'm not that learned, like a bunch of you guys. But I did enjoy as a kid, and up until now, really, reading Love You Forever. It's a children's book that I had as a kid, and I've loved it ever since. Some of the lessons have still stuck to me till this day. So if I were to recommend a book to you guys, that would be it. And my favorite book genre would have to be romance, for sure. I'm a big sucker for romance. Okay, so we're heading into YouTube type of questions. Most listened to ASMR creator. If you do listen to ASMR, I do listen to ASMR. I'm not sure though if you mean ASMR like in the traditional sense, the triggers, the tapping, all that stuff, or ASMR roleplay, like what I do. So I'll answer both. For traditional ASMR, my favorites are ASMR Zeitgeist, Dong ASMR, and Anil Çakmak, I think is how you pronounce it. He's a Turkish ASMR barbershop massage ASMR artist, and he's definitely one of my favorites. But as for roleplay audios, I don't really listen to much. I used to listen to a bit of Funiva and GGX Hunter. I'm sure you guys have heard of them. They're pretty big in the community. So yeah, but I haven't really listened to them in a really long time. But when I was doing research for, yes, I did do a bit of research for the channel before I started. I listened to a lot of M4A, and for me the best ones were, of course, Professor Cal, Zizaku, VA, Nyx Moon Reads, Oralescent, and yeah, there's a bunch of really talented creators, but I can't name them off the top of my head. So shout out to all of those super cool creators. Any favorite YouTubers you like to watch? Also, I love you so much, Nora Mwah. Thank you so much. Much love to you too. Any favorite YouTubers? Okay. I do, yeah. So I'm big into Minecraft, so I'd say GamerBoy80. I'm sure maybe like one or two of you know him. But my favorite YouTubers of all time there's a group of them called the Goons. So there's Soup, The Do, McNasty, and Blarg. You guys may have heard of The Do. He does like the Omegle guitar videos, so you probably watched a few of his videos. But yes, but my all-time favorite is definitely Soup of the bunch. Marnie asks, do you have a favorite VA? So again, I'm not sure if you mean the traditional VA like in anime or in video games, or the roleplay VAs, so I'll answer both. Oh my. So my favorite VA, I can't name the Japanese ones because I'm not very good with Japanese names, but the voice actor of Kenny, of Levi, and Aaron Yeager, and Erwin Smith, I'd have to say the VA of Erwin Smith, who also does the voice of Jojo, one of the Jojos, I believe. Definitely my favorite VAs. But in the VA community, in the roleplay community, my favorite would have to be Professor Cal. I think he's just so cool. Obviously, guys, I don't listen to his NSFW stuff. I just think that he's super good and uber talented. Okay, yes. Do you listen to Vocaloid? I do not. I apologize if that disappoints you. Do the characters you play in ASMR somehow reflect yourself IRL? A lot of them are unscripted, so if you didn't know, yes, they are unscripted. So with these rambly types of audios, I feel like I know that there's definitely some part of me that is imprinted on the audio, so I would have to say yes. I believe they do. Myself somehow plays into the character. It does reflect myself in real life. Do you have any past experience with voice acting? You sound very experienced. Why, thank you. Whoever asked that, whoever said that. But no, I do not have prior experience. My only experience has been when I started recording for my YouTube channel, which was about a little over 2 months ago, I'd say. Do you have any vocal exercises before recording? I don't, but if I have a script or a really loose script, I'm gonna go through it a bunch of times out loud to sort of loosen up my vocal cords. But I don't have a routine vocal exercise. But I heard that you have to do, tongue twisters help. So I'm probably gonna start doing that. What is something you always do before recording / writing? Personally, before writing stuff, I always light a candle. That's super cool, by the way. Setting the tone, that's great. I don't do anything special, but I guess I sort of try to calm myself down a little bit, sort of hype myself up before recording. So yeah, that is what I do. Rain asks, how long does it usually take to make / edit your audios? They sound amazing. Thank you, Rain. It depends on the audio, of course. So the easiest ones are the sleep aid ones because I'm just in one setting, probably just laying down. So I'd say it takes me about an hour and a half to edit those. But for context, the longest one that I've done is the longest time I took editing is the cute barista one. So I'm sure a bunch of you guys haven't heard that, but I suggest that you do, because it is probably my best quality-wise, I would say. Because I spent maybe 5 to 6 or 7 hours editing, and I actually looked up how to make coffee through Siphon, so I would try to recreate, sort of keep it authentic, the sounds, to the process of creating coffee through a siphon. So that definitely took a while. But I'll say for the harder ones, 4 to 5 hours. For the easy ones, about an hour. Hour. Thank you for asking, Rain, and thank you for the compliment. Anonymous asks, sheesh, what mic do you use? Because it's literally so good. So interestingly enough, I use a pretty cheap one. It's $30, so it's not that cheap. But it's a USB mic. I believe it's the Fifine K668. It's somewhere, it's Fifine and it's K668 something. And Ro asks, how many mics have you tried to find before you found the perfect one? This is my first ever mic. Before then, I had a decent headphone mic, and then before that, just pretty crappy earphones. So this is my first ever mic, so I definitely struck gold with this one. Anonymous asks, what program / software do you use for editing videos? I use Adobe Premiere Pro. Gizmo asks, is there going to be a specific time or schedule you'll be uploading at? So if you notice in my recent videos, I've been uploading at so EST, I've been uploading on a Sunday at around 12 noon or 1 p.m. or 11 a.m. somewhere around there. GMT, which is the time in England, I believe, I've been uploading 5 hours after, so around 5 p.m., 4 p.m. And KST, so in Asia, I've been uploading on a Monday at around, just early in the morning, around, well, at the break of dawn at around 1 a.m., 12 a.m. So yeah, I do plan to schedule to post my videos. If it's every week, I'll be posting on those dates and those times. I'll try to keep it consistent. But if I'm trying to do 2 videos, I will definitely post a second video on a Friday around the same time. Gizmo and Poppy, who is BS person, hello Poppy, ask, what other types of ASMR besides sleep aids / comfort audios will you be doing? So I'm interested in doing something that I guess stresses and, well, not stresses you guys, I guess stresses my vocal cords and my vocal range, just sort of tests my vocal range and emotional range a bit more. So I'm planning to do a bit more less wholesome, sort of stronger types of voices, maybe like a Mafia one, Mafia Boss. I hear that those are pretty cool, so if you're interested in that, just let me know. Or just in general, something strong with a really full voice, instead of the more comforting and sort of light voice that I do for my audios. Anonymous asks, will we ever hear an office worker Nora in the future? Yes, you will. And interestingly enough, that was one of my first few ideas when I started planning for my channel. So you will definitely hear an office worker Nora. Crispy and Sleepy _ insomniac asks, would you ever do a collab with another ASMR artist? If yes, who? Yes, I would love to do a collab with another ASMR artist. And it's kind of like, okay, I'm sort of shooting for the stars here. But if I could, I would love to do one with Professor Cal. Though he only does NSFW, so I'm not sure how that will work. If not, maybe Zizaku, or definitely Maze Underground ASMR. I think they're all so cool. Are you friends with anyone in the ASMR roleplay community? Yes, I am. I recently became friends with Gigi. Gigi X Hunter, sorry. Emma asks, what's your current relationship status? And someone asks, are you single, taken, or it's complicated? I'll just have to keep you guys guessing. Someone asks, do you have a type? Probably fire type. Or what do you look for in a girl? So 2 things. Number 1 is humor. So if you can take a joke, that's great. But if you can throw one back, that is excellent. What's the other one? Confidence. I think there's so few things on this earth that are more attractive than someone who is confident. So definitely the confidence, just how you carry yourself in general. What is something that attracts you to a person? So definitely that, the confidence. Red Riot or Redriot 17 asks, can we date? Oh, how forward of you, Red Riot. Maybe, but I would like you to buy me dinner first. An anonymous person asks, you up for dating? If your answer is no, then haha, I was just kidding, winky. Okay, but what if my answer is yes? Too bad. Okay, so that is it for the basic questions. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I will now be moving on to the more open-ended questions. Okay. So, Toby asks, what's your story behind the name Nora? Okay, so I was big into manga and drawing ever since I was a little kid. So when I was sort of making my own characters and my own story, as you do, one of the names that I gravitated towards was Nora for my main character, and I'm not sure why. I believe it's the name of the main character in Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm not too sure, please do not quote me on that, but I've just always liked it ever since. And interestingly enough, when I was making my YouTube channel, it was supposed to be something Sangu, but someone else sort of had the first part of that channel name, and they were already at that point like 20k subscribers. So I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna make it with that type of name. So I was sort of struggling coming up with a name, and I landed on Nora after a bit of thought. So that is the story behind Nora, and I just generally find it a very pretty name. Deceased asks, what made you get into voice acting? Okay. I would say just having been a listener in this community, and I had heard from a bunch of my friends that I had a really nice voice. So like funny stories, they would just randomly stop me whenever I'm talking, and they would be like, you know, you have a really nice voice. You could probably do some ASMR. Like it's a voice for ASMR. Or they would say, I could just listen to you for hours, something like that, right? And it's completely unexpected, completely out of the blue, but obviously super welcome. So just knowing that there are actually people who like my voice, and I actually made friends with some voice actors. So they're amateur voice actors, but they've done gigs, and they're super. They have super high standards when it comes to voices, because it's literally their job. And even they said that I have a really nice voice. So when I found this niche, I thought that I could probably do something with this, and just the idea of actually being able to maybe even earn a little bit from it, and more importantly, actually help people, hopefully help people with my voice, was just too good of an opportunity to pass up. So that's what got me into voice acting, but I wouldn't say I'm a voice actor per se, because I don't really have any experience doing voice acting gigs. But I believe that is like the sort of question that you're trying to ask, deceased. So I hope I answered it. Dean, oh, there's a lot here. Dean Yana Luxurtml, so Luxurtml, and sleepy underscore insomniac, sorry, asks, ask, why did you start making audios? And Poppy, Katara, Angie, hello Angie, Nyla, Lirsu, Jasmine, Emma, Toby, Dean, and Yana. So they're not asking the exact same thing, but I just sort of combined it. They asked, why did you get into ASMR/roleplay audios? And McCann asked, what made you feel like this was something you wanted to do? Literally can't think of many things more stressful than having to perform in a way that sounds and feels comforting, in the hopes, oh my, of helping people out, Lamau. You are succeeding though. Thank you for that. I'm glad I am. So why did I start making audios? So I sort of answered it in the last question. I just felt like, people just said that I have a nice voice, and I felt like, maybe I could help people with this. So I started making a few audios, and I started getting really into it. And when it started getting a lot of traction, I knew that I was doing something right, so I continued. But when it comes to ASMR/roleplay audios, the concept of role playing in terms of audios, making content, just appealed to me a lot. I just thought that it was a super interesting niche and type of content, type of comfort. And as I said, I knew that, maybe I could do something with this with my voice and with the way I talk in general. So that's why I got into ASMR/roleplay audios. And so yeah, what made you feel like this was something you wanted to do? Well, again, I already answered that, but I guess to continue that, well, I also already said this, but the traction that I got and all the super lovely comments that I received, from then up until now, really made me realize that this was something I super wanted to do. QQ asks, who inspired you to do ASMR audios? Do you have any recommendations of people you listen to? So from the start, when I was doing some research for my channel, because I was going to start a channel and I wanted to start it right, I listened to a lot of Professor Cal, but only the SFW audios guys. Zizaku VA, Oralescent, Nix Moon Reads, a lot, honestly. Their names just escape me now, but I listen to a lot. But especially Professor Cal was definitely one of the people that really inspired me to do ASMR audios, because just the way that he constructs his audios. First of all, I think he has the nicest voice that I've ever heard, just straight up, in a guy, of course. But the way he adds all these sound effects to make it feel, these diegetic sound effects to make it feel really like you're in that world, just blew me away. Like the level of quality that he had for his audios, I think is still unmatched. I'm trying to get there, of course, and maybe some of you can see that, a little bit of that, in which case I'm very glad. But yeah, just Professor Cal, and also in a way GGX Hunter, and Maze Underground ASMR. Just how natural their audio sounded. It just genuinely felt like you were talking to another person, but of course sort of living vicariously through kind of like fantastical scenarios that you may not find yourself in, but just the way that they make it sound so real really appealed to me. So I'm just trying to get different bits and pieces from all these ASMR creators that have inspired me. So yeah, thank you very much for the question, QQ. Ro asks, what inspired you to do to be a digital boyfriend to strangers online? It just felt like the not the easiest, but the sort of niche within this niche that I probably felt most comfortable in. Um, so yeah, that is what inspired me to be a digital boyfriend, and a lot of people have been liking it so far. Hopefully, well, from what I've seen, a lot of people have liked it. So I'm definitely continuing it, and it's just something that I'm super interested in. Nari or Nati asks, what inspired your specific style of BF ASMR? So I'm not sure exactly what you mean by a specific style, but again, I'm just taking different bits and pieces of ASMR as ASMR artists that I love, and I think my specific style would be a mix of Cal when it comes to sort of how I guess full his audios feel in my experience, just how much sound effects that he adds to them, how real he makes it feel through that. And when it comes to the voice, I would say a bit of Professor Cal, but also Maze Underground ASMR, and again GGX Hunter. I'm just trying to, especially when I'm rambling, which is for the most part what I do, just trying to make it feel as real as possible, and that you guys could probably, it is a bit of a weird situation, like it's something very peculiar, but if you were in that situation, I'm the type of person you would hear. That is sort of what inspired me to make my specific style of boyfriend ASMR audios. So I hope that answers that. Nari or Nati. Mia asks, when did you get into doing BF audios? When I started my channel, about a month and a half ago. But I did, a few weeks before that, I did some prep and recording and editing and doing all the thumbnails and all that stuff. So I would say 2.5 months ago. Josie asks, did the rapid growth of your channel surprise you? It definitely did. Even till this day, it still hasn't hit me. At the time of me recording this, I believe I'm at 11.8k, which is crazy because 2 days ago I just hit 10k like 2 days ago or 3 days ago. I'm not too sure exactly, but it's just so wild to me. I mean, when I first started making my audios, I literally had no audience whatsoever. So I wasn't too sure if it was gonna click with the algorithm and with the community that I have now, of course. But I knew the certain level of quality that I provided. So whenever someone, thanks me for the audio, for the quality, I'm not too surprised. Obviously, it's a pleasant surprise that I'm so thankful for. But I put in the work and the time to make my audios that level of quality, even the thumbnails, even my about me page, even my profile picture, my banners, all that type of stuff. I put in the time, so I knew I just needed to find the community, and eventually it would take off a little bit from there. But when I meant take off, I was like maybe 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, right? I started my channel middle of January, so I thought by December I'd be like 1,000 maybe. So the fact that it's only been a month and a half and I'm at almost 12k is so crazy to me. And I just didn't think that I would be lucky enough this quickly to be looked upon favorably by the YouTube algorithm. So long answer short, Josie. Yes, I was extremely surprised by the rapid growth, but only a little bit. Well, a lot, but a little bit less because I know the type of quality that I'm putting out. Anonymous asks, how did you find out about this community/genre? So I was big into ASMR even back then. I've been listening to traditional ASMR for about 3-4 years now, I would say. And over time, I just got recommended these ASMR roleplay audios. And it started with, I'm not too sure exactly, but the first two that I really listened to were Faniva, and again, GGX Hunter. So that is how I found out about this community/genre. Pauline Fo asks, what inspires you to create more content? Well, number one, it's something that I just genuinely enjoy. And number two, just the reception that you guys have given me from these audios. It's just so crazy. Reading all your comments and hearing, and I guess putting a person behind all of the numbers and the statistics, just put so many things into perspective, and it made me realize just how important and influential I can be when it comes to someone feeling better. So that is definitely what inspires me to create more content, Pauline. Red Riot 17 asks, what is your favorite part about making the audios? Well, making the audios itself, I would say just making the thumbnail, sort of the media stuff. But when it comes to recording, I would say recording itself. Oh, no, I'd say script writing. I kind of like, I can't really say scripts because most of them, if not all, well, not all, but basically all of them are unscripted, but I do make loose scripts. So say I would make a loose script for a type of audio, I would start with the ending. I'll have a beginning and I'll ask, so how do I want to end this? So I don't ramble on for an hour and just have to edit it all down. So there's a specific ending that I want that I can build towards as I'm rambling, and throughout the video I want to hit specific points. So say for the attention audio, my second most recent one, as of this Q&A, I thought it would be cute to do like a tutoring my little sister, and then I want to do a little dance. I don't know, just something fun. So I knew that for the dance one, I just sort of thought about it on the fly. But I know in case by case, video by video, I want to have an idea of the, I guess, sort of plot points or notes that I want to hit in the song that is my videos. So I would say script writing sort of is my favorite part about making audios. What type of audio do you most like to record? Well, I really like the sleep aid ones because I feel like it's just me naturally talking. So it's number one, the easiest, and number two, I feel like it reflects me the most, which seems to really resonate with a lot of my viewers and my supporters. So that would definitely be my favorite type of audio to record. Reed_dear asks, which one of the audios has been the most fun to make so far? So definitely the drunk best friend one. A lot of people were surprised at how good that was, but that was so fun to record. And an anonymous asks, what is your favorite video you have done? Oh, so it's the same thing, but I will definitely say the drunk best friend one, for sure. Josie asks, what was the hardest audio to record so far? Ooh. Well, the easiest one I can say is the drunk best friend one. I'm not sure why, but I guess I'm just a natural pretending to be drunk. But the hardest one, I would say... Oh, that's hard to say, actually. I'll say maybe the studying late night with your best friend. Because the boyfriend audios come a bit more naturally to me. But the studying with a best friend was a bit vanilla, so I kind of struggled to keep it interesting. But yeah, so yeah, definitely that one. And I wanted to add a question. What was the hardest audio? Oh, wait, what? Oh, what was the hardest audio to edit? So Josie's question was to record, mine is to edit. Definitely the cute barista one. Like I said, I had to look up how to, well, I didn't need to, but I wanted to look up how to make coffee through Siphon, so I watched videos, I read articles so I could keep it authentic, so I could bend the rules a little bit, but still make it feel authentic. And there's just so many little bits of audio that I had to listen to like dozens of times over, and I didn't have a sound library back then, so I was also building up my sound library as I was editing. So definitely that. Anonymous asks, what's your favorite part of the whole YouTube process? Is it recording, editing, or replying to comments? Well, honestly, definitely it's the replying to all your comments. That's why I do it so much. I know it surprises a lot of you, but honestly, I have time. I have some free time, and when I can, I just try to, well, obviously I try to limit myself because you guys make me so addicted to reading all your wonderful words. But it's definitely just replying and reading all the comments because, I don't know, again, like I said before, just putting a human behind the numbers is just so special, and the fact that I can recognize a lot of you and that I can remember bits and pieces about you May it be something like an exam, an interview. You know, maybe you were busy at work, maybe it was your birthday, you couldn't sleep last night, and then I helped you. Just little bits and pieces like this that I can pick up from all of your comments just makes it so much more fulfilling. Just makes it 100 times more fun. So that is definitely my favorite part about the whole YouTube process. Thank you very much for asking. Reed_deer asks, do you have any headcanons for any of your characters? Love your little sketches, by the way. Thank you so much. I'm glad you do. I don't have headcanons, aside from obviously the ones that I turn into sequels. Obviously, I have to start with a headcanon. Well, duh, in my head. But as far as the sort of one-shot ones go, I do not. Oh, obviously, I try to get into the character and try to come up with these little types of bits and stories to dictate how and why I say certain things, and to justify the way I say those certain things. So in that sense, I do have a bit of headcanon, but it's very bare, to be perfectly frank. Anonymous asks, are all your works written by you? Are all of them based on your experience, or is it also wishful thinking? So yes, all my works are written by me, but for the most part, they're completely unscripted. And the second part of that question, because they're unscripted, I would say they're like 70% wishful thinking, 30% based on my experiences. So obviously I wouldn't be able to keep it as real as I could if it wasn't sort of based on me as a person and my experiences and my personality. But it's definitely also a bit of wishful thinking, because I haven't been in pretty much all of those scenarios myself, maybe in some sort of way, some tamer way. So yeah, it's a bit of wishful thinking to keep it sort of lively and to help you guys sort of imagine and transfer you guys to a more fantastical type of reality. But to ground you guys, it draws from my experiences and my person. Someone asks, if someone wants to start making audios, what advice would you give them? Okay, so I do have some concrete advice. When it comes to posting videos, so I'll do that now. I'm gonna assume that whoever asked this is planning to may plan to make content on YouTube. Really, the best advice that I can give you, which I got from MadPat, the game theorist, is as soon as you start your channel, like, don't let it just sit there without any content, right? Because there's a difference between making a YouTube account and making a YouTube channel. After you make your YouTube account, you actually have to press and set up your YouTube channel. So if you're gonna post YouTube content, before you start your YouTube channel, I want you to have 4 or 5 audios that you already have recorded and edited and all that stuff. And I suggest with those audios, you try to sort of, I guess, cast a fishing net to see cast a bunch of fishing net, a wide fishing net, I mean, to see which type of content appeals to a larger majority of your viewers. So for me, I did 2 series ones and 3 one-shots, so ones that don't have a sequel. And the one that appealed to the most people at the start was the sleep aid one, the perfect fit, a comfort/sleep aid type of video. So I realized, okay, I mean, I even had a different type of thumbnail. So if you guys remember, I actually had so the super OGs actually you may remember that the Saturday morning comfort and the studying, your late night studying with your best friend actually had a different thumbnail at the very start. So it was more so in line with my thumbnails for the train one, the random guy on a train and the cute barista. They had the same sort of design language. But I realized, because the perfect fit was doing so well, that I wanted to use that type of thumbnail and also that type of YouTube title and tags and all that sort of stuff. So you cast a wide fishing net with the 5 audios you make, determine which one appeals to the most people, and build off of there, right? So once you start your YouTube channel, you post those 5 sort of varied type of audios, and you just wait patiently. Do not think about the numbers too much. I was guilty of this as well, but so much of it, well, not so much of it, but a big part of your success comes down to luck and how favorably the YouTube algorithm looks upon you. So do not stress over the numbers too much. And once you have that, so the main point with the 5 audios, sorry if I'm rambling here, I'm just quite interested in the process of it. Once you have those 5 audios posted, immediately after you start your channel, people are going to watch one audio, and if they're interested, they're going to go through this, what MatPat calls like a listening or like a watching journey. So the YouTube algorithm will see, so there's this new YouTube channel, and they actually have a bunch of watch hours. They have a lot of watch hours for someone who's super new. So you're giving your audience an opportunity to go through all your content and see for themselves, do I really like this YouTuber? And if they do, then they'll subscribe. If they don't, they have another video which they can test out, right? So that's another part. There's another reason why making 3 to 5, 4 or 5 audios is super important from the jump. So after that, once you get a bit of traction, you really try your best to build your community. So you determine your identity. What type of feel do you want for your community? So for me, I really wanted it to be as positive and as welcoming as possible. So I always try to say I always try to say thank you and all that sort of stuff to sort of concretize and to really strengthen the roots of your YouTube channel, because it all comes down to your viewers and if they're satisfied and if they feel happy with your content. So sorry, that was such a large tangent. Moving to making ASMR audios, roleplay audios specifically. So from the jump, you want to have your sort of language. And what I mean by that is your aesthetic, but when it comes to your audios. So a lot of it really not boils down, but a lot of it is determined by so many factors. So the thumbnails, how you say, the way you speak, blah, 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 the ideas that you have. So to start, I guess I would say, look around you and try to pick and choose between a multitude of ASMR YouTubers that you like and that you feel will appeal to the audience that you're trying to build. Excuse me. And of course, do not steal, but synthesize, right? So pick and choose and synthesize all the little bits and pieces that you like from those audios and make it your own, right? So for me, what I wanted to do was have all of these sort of same type of situations, like the drunk best friend. Like there's a bunch of drunk best friends ones who also make confessions. Class rival, there's a lot of class rivals. But for me, what I wanted to do is I want to keep it fantastical, like I said, so a bit of fantasy, but more importantly, I wanted to feel real. And that came down to how well I could act these characters. And after some time, I got proficient at it. And I had that language, which is trying to keep it as real as possible. So if you look around my YouTube comments, there are a lot of people that actually commend me for making it feel so real. And I'm very, very thankful for that. And that's, I also have to congratulate myself, give myself a little bit of a pat on the back, because that is what I planned. I wanted to keep it as real as possible. So I want you to lean towards a certain type of making your content. Again, synthesize from YouTubers that you like. Really get to know the medium. So I want you to ask yourself while you're making it, there's so many questions, but let's boil it down to one simple question, which is, how do you want your audience to feel? Do you want them to feel comforted? Do you want them to feel a little anxious and then comforted? Do you want them to feel happy? Do you want them to laugh? Do you want them to cry? And don't be afraid to explore and build all of the little bits and pieces. Sorry, I think I smacked my microphone. All the little bits and pieces that you add, right? It can be overwhelming, but the fact of the matter is, ASMR roleplay is, and any sort of creative medium is art. And for me, the point of art is to move. So try to move your audience in the direction that you want them to. And every single bit and piece of your audio, I want it to build towards that specific direction. And that's honestly the best piece of advice that I can give. Just build your community. Again, don't be afraid to explore a little, synthesize from your favorite YouTube creators, build your community. That is the number one. Be honest to yourself, and just generally enjoy and make the best type of content that you can. So, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry if that was way too much. I just really want to, I guess, help. So hopefully that was helpful to whoever asked that. Anonymous asks, any plans for your channel in the future? And Luxertimal also asks, what can we expect for your next and slash future videos? And Toby asks, do you have any interesting plans slash projects you would like to share with us in the future, such as speed painting slash drawing, like you mentioned in, such as the speed painting slash drawing that you mentioned in one of your community posts? I do actually. So as you saw from the beginning, maybe, I am planning to make a Patreon. I plan to make a bunch of exclusive content, and I won't, oh, I just realized that I didn't answer this, even though it was part of the question. I'm not planning to put any of my proper audios behind a paywall. I just don't like the concept of that. Obviously, anyone else who does it, props to you, power to you. But for me, I don't want my supporters and my listeners, I don't want any of you to feel that you're missing out simply because you don't have the money. And I've gotten a bunch of comments from people, which is why I tried to keep my stuff as cheap as possible. That the dollar is actually very expensive where they're from, and they're, as they say, broke. So I don't want to put my content behind a paywall, but I am planning to start a Patreon, which is just exclusive, well, not audios, but exclusive and more intimate content from me. So more Q&As, thank you doodles, like I said, short poem readings, short story readings, poem readings, and all these sort of stuff, that you saw in the screenshot right there. That is the stuff that I'm planning to do for my Patreon. And but for the Ko-Fi, maybe I'll do some sort of art commissions, but I'm not too sure. Those are very time consuming. So I'll maybe stick to the audio message commission that I have over on my Ko-Fi. And a bit more out of the ordinary, well, not out of the ordinary, but something a bit outside of definitely outside of my comfort zone right now. I would love to do gaming content. I'm not sure if a lot of you would support me when it comes to the gaming content. Obviously, even if you don't, that's completely understandable and completely fine. But I think just sort of as a passion project, I would love to make gameplay content, maybe of Minecraft or of Genshin. That's one thing that I'm looking into, because I have never played Genshin before, nor have I ever played any gacha sort of games before. I'm not even sure if Genshin can be considered kind of a gacha game. But yeah, sort of like making my way through games that I've never played before, like Undertale, where I have the ability to also commentate. I feel like would be super, super fun. So I would love to start a gaming channel and feature maybe other YouTubers as well in this niche of ours. So yeah, but I'm waiting to, I guess, build a larger community before I make that, because I don't want to make it and have like nobody come over and support. So if ever I do start that, whenever I start that gaming channel, I would love to do some streams as well, maybe on YouTube, maybe on Twitch, I'm not too sure. But yeah, those are the plans that I have for my for my channel. Oh my. Okay, so Anonymous asks, what is the best advice or wisdom, that you received from someone? So, it's not really something that they directly told me, but it's something that I learned indirectly from a friend. When I was going through a rough patch when I was younger in high school, I was the type of person that just didn't want to say any of my problems to anyone. Not because I felt like I didn't have anyone. I had a lot of people that were so willing to help, but I just preferred to keep it to myself. But I went through a particularly rough patch during that time. So when my friend came over and we were just playing, just whatever at my place, we were just sitting down and we were just talking about life. And that was probably my favorite conversation I've ever had with anyone, ever. And for the first time, I was just letting it all out there. Well, not for the first time, but I've definitely never let it out as much as I did that night. So that specific encounter and that friend of mine definitely taught me that a few things. Number one, the best way to learn about someone, so whenever they're talking to you and they're sharing their problems, the best way to learn is if you're comfortable to learn about each other. If you're comfortable, is to share a problem of yours with equal or a little less, a little greater magnitude. So if they share their problem, a problem they're comfortable with, it would be nice to share a problem that you're comfortable with. And I feel like you guys can connect on so many levels if you do that. And another one is, another lesson that taught me, that sort of advice or wisdom, is just, it's different opening up. Like, even if you're used to, because trust me, I've been there, even if you're used to just keeping things to yourself, and even if you're completely fine doing it, sometimes you just do need people, and good people at that. And being able to have friends around you, a support system around you that will listen to you is just different. So just that person, that situation, that episode of mine just taught me how the importance of really opening up and really showing the human inside of you, especially when you've spent so much of your life just throwing up a facade or whatever. So that was definitely the best piece of wisdom that I received from someone. Sort of in the same line, an anonymous person asked, any advice for students? I do. So I used to be, I am a pretty good student in my opinion. So you may be asking the right person. When it comes to, if you're an overachiever like I was when I was a kid, I don't want you to go out there and try to do every single thing that you can at the cost of your mental health and sleep. What I want you to do is what I call picking your poison. So I want you to understand the grading system of your school, right? How much stress do they put on the projects? How much stress do they put on the exams? So you can start with there, and if, say, they put maybe 40% of the grading into exams and the rest of the 60 divided into a bunch of other things, obviously you want to focus on the projects, because each and every single project will account for so much more compared to compared to one test, right? One project would account more than one test. So with that, you can know that maybe you won't be able to put 110% effort into both all the tests and all the projects, but you know that if you have to sacrifice a bit of time and effort, you can spend a little less time studying for tests, because, as I said, a project would probably be worth more. So yeah, that's what I mean by picking my poison. If it's just at the cost of your mental health, it's not worth it. Trust me, I've been there. So do not beat yourself up so much if you're trying to chase perfection, right? The whole point of chasing perfection is not to get perfection itself, because that's nearly impossible and basically impossible, but it's the pursuit and the day-by-day progress that you have to acknowledge, to the point where you can look back and say, wow, I'm a lot better than I was yesterday, a week ago, a month ago. That's the whole point with education. That's the whole point with you putting in the time to perform better, right? So that's honestly the best advice I can give for students. Just be a good person, be a good student, right? It's not worth it trying to be someone you're not. Find the people that accept you. If no one accepts you, either you have to change yourself a little, have to look at yourself in the mirror and maybe change something, and just find the people that will hold you accountable. Don't find yes men or yes women or yes whatever. Find friends that respect you, that have the same humor as you, and that will hold you accountable. Okay, that is the best advice I can give for students. Teddy asks, thank you for providing us with comfort. You're very much welcome, Teddy. I wanted to ask, what brings you comfort? So I was going to say the whole YouTube thing again, and you guys, of course, but I feel like I've already said that way too much. But I'd say what gives me comfort is just the alone time that I can spend by myself. Well, alone time. Nora. But just, I don't know, I guess I don't have to worry about all the things like, am I going to be able to eat? Am I going to have a roof over my head if it rains? Right? Just the fact that I can remind myself that I have the luxury to worry about a YouTube channel, to worry about my mental health, all that type of stuff. When millions and millions of people are worrying about survival. I think that gives me comfort. Obviously, I'm not comforted by the fact that other people are suffering and I'm not. I find comfort in knowing that I can reflect and that I can help people and that I know that I am blessed. That is what gives me comfort. But of course, just knowing that I can help you guys just warms my heart so much. So Teddy Hiraeth, I believe is how you pronounce it, Hiraeth or Hiraeth. Katara and Mel asks, "How are you? How have you been taking care of yourself well?" And Red Riot asks, "How's life?" Thank you guys so much. So many of the comments have been asking me how I am and have been reminding me to eat well and to hydrate, which I will do right now. So thank you guys so much for that. I just wanted to include this because you guys are so nice. I have been well, thank you very much. Obviously, there are a few problems here and there, but everyone has their problems. You know, just going through it day by day. And how's life? Life has been pretty good. A little busy, of course, but it's generally been pretty good. So thank you very much. I hope you guys are doing well as well. Taking care of yourself, eating a lot, drinking enough water, sleeping as much as you can, whenever you can, and just improving day by day. Another person asks, or rather says, "Have you drank a glass of water yet? If not, please do. Thank you for your videos and hope you have a great day." Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day as well. And you drink plenty of water as well, please. And another person, the last question for open-ended is, "How's life treating you? Are you feeling okay? I hope so. Take care of yourself and the people that you love the most." I definitely will. Thank you so much for this. I hope life's been treating you well too, and that you're okay. Well, I just checked and I'm almost an hour and a half in, so I will have to breeze through the unique or funny questions. I'm so sorry. Okay, Hiraeth asks, "Do you get bored of doing ASMR videos? If yes, what do you do to keep having fun with it?" Honestly, no. It's been super fun, but I feel like if I'm getting bored of it, that I'm going to try to look for different ideas that I can explore to sort of keep it fresh. Anonymous asks, "Kind of a stupid question, but why isn't the listener kissed in the ASMR videos?" That is not stupid at all. That is a fair point. Pretty much all the content that I've seen has maybe L-bombs or pet names or kisses, but it's just generally not my sort of thing. I want to make audio that is free from sort of kissing and sort of the more no type of stuff, and the L-bombs and the pet names. Again, it's not like I have anything against them. Power to all the people that use them, but just for my specific kind of audios and just for myself, I don't really feel like using them. So that is why. Your opinion on bananas. Your opinion matters. I think bananas are high in potassium. Thank you. Another person asked, "Cat or no cat?" And maybe I'll put it up on the screen right now. That's so funny. It's an emoji of a cat or a black box. So cat or no cat? Oh, that's a tough one. No, I'm just kidding. Definitely cat. Thank you. Armin asks, "You like jazz?" You like jazz? I definitely do. I love acid jazz, Armin. Thank you very much for asking. Lahi or Laji Bolola _ Simp for Thoma asks, "Do you sleep with the closet door open or closed?" I don't know anyone who sleeps with them open aside from me, baby. No, I'm joking. I have it closed. Anna asks, "How many pairs of shoes do you own?" I do not own a lot, maybe 3 or 4, 2 or 3, somewhere around there. An anonymous person asks, "Do you put your thumb up when you flip someone off or not?" I actually tried it out when I first read your question, and it depends on my mood, but I think for the most part I keep it down. Hell asks, "How would your younger self react if they met you and managed to not faint?" Probably I don't know. It depends on how young I am. I'd probably just start making fun of myself, if I'm being honest with you. Just knowing me. Poppy asks, "Top 3 favorite Pocky flavors." Okay, this is important, so listen up. Number 3, Almond Crush. Number 2, Cookies and Cream. And number 1, Chocolate. Cannot go wrong. Anonymous asks, "Weathering with you or your name?" Weathering with you is nice, but your name is just different. So your name. M asks, "What's something unusual or crazy that you would love to try or do that haven't managed to yet?" Probably, definitely skydiving, bungee jumping. Skydiving off an airplane is just insane. I would love to do that someday. Super, super cool. Misa asks, what 5 words would you use to describe yourself and your personality overall? Oh, I actually did not prepare for this. Probably chillin'. That's number one. Ooh. Reactive. So I like to react to a lot of things. Observant. So I like to observe and then react. Um, Decent. Like, I don't think I'm crazy nice, but I'm not think I'm an a-hole either. I'm just a very decent person overall, I hope. And optimistic. Optimistic about a lot of things. Like, even when I'm down in the dumps, I just can't help but feel happy and count my blessings over things. So yeah, I think those would be the 5 words that I would use, Misa. Melody asks, if you had to describe yourself as a color, what would you pick and why? I would say aqua. It's not my favorite color, but it's just so nice and chill. So I would say aqua. Mel asks, if you were to pick an object that best represents you, what object would you choose? Again, I did not prepare for this, dear lord. An object. I would say just like oh dear. I guess like boom 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 boom. I'm trying to be clever here, but at the same time I just can't think of anything. Maybe a glass of water. I think so much of my life is dependent, so much of my personality and just my life in general is dependent on how I look at things, how I look at my life, how I look at the water in my life. And for the most part, I'm a half glass full kind of guy, but sometimes I'm a half glass empty, and sometimes I'm just it's just water type of guy. So I would say that would be the object that would describe me best. I mean, if I had to choose, that would be the object to represent me, Mel. Anonymous asks, what's your favorite smell in perfume slash cologne? Floral, fruity, musky, etc. Personally, I'm a big fan of sweet, fruity smells. For me, it's sort of like a marine and natural type of smell. So it's nothing crazy, but something that's just like so full and kind of manly, I guess. Well, not manly, but definitely more natural and marine type of stuff. I don't know if I'm describing it well. For context, my favorite perfume and one that I use now actually is Bulgari Aqua. So yeah. Hiraeth asks, if you can change one thing in the world, what would it be and why? If I had to change something about the world, I feel like I just want people to be less emotional about decisions that I feel should be made with a clear head and an objective head. This just comes from my personal bias living and growing up in the situation that I was in. I feel like people need to be a bit less emotional. Obviously, emotions are great. Not everything can be dictated by yes or no or black and white. There's a lot of nuances, but I just feel generally that people can be a bit too emotional over a lot of things. Deceased asks, if you could have any power in the world, what would it be? I'm gonna be boring here and say just do flight. Or this is hard. Maybe to stop time so I can just sleep whenever I want without losing on any time. McCann asks, if everything we knew was coming to an end within 8 hours, what WTF would you do to make life feel as complete as can be? And then the emoji. Oh wow, McCann. And an anonymous person asks in the same vein, if you knew the world was going to end tomorrow, what would be the first and last thing you would do? So the first thing I would do, of course, is just greet my friends and my family, obviously, but that's an easy one. But I think the last thing I would do would be to either drive off to someplace nice or go to a place that holds a very special meaning to my mind, I guess, nostalgia-wise, and just sit there. I think if I try to rush in and put so many things of my life into the last 8 hours or the last day, that I'm not going to be able to spend as much time really appreciating all those memories and all those things that I love doing. So I think I'm going to try to keep it simple and just sit there, let the wind breeze kiss my cheek and just think about life. I think. Is that too cheesy? Maybe. Would you like to go to an alien spaceship if they invited you to go on? Heck yeah. Even if I was the sacrificial lamb, as long as they're chill, you know. If you were transported to a random fantasy universe, where would you go? The good place. And I mean the good place. If you know, you know. Would you rather listen to your favorite song on repeat for the rest of your life, or listen to every song but your favorite song for the rest of your life? Okay, so my favorite song changes like on a weekly/monthly basis, kind of. So, but let's just pretend that I could never listen to September, Earth, Wind, and Fire again. And that is tough. But I will have to say, I'll have to go with the second one. Listen to every song but your favorite song. I just cannot limit myself to one song. I'm going to end up listening to it too much and not liking it anymore, which sucks. No. Anonymous asks, what is your favorite painting of one of the Renaissance artists? So I'm not some sort of crazy enlightened person, but I do love me some Renaissance paintings, and my favorite have to be the Sistine Chapel by Michelangelo, but more specifically the Creation of Adam. I think it's just super interesting. Asked, this is by Dasha, what is your favorite painting? So I don't really have one, and it'd just be disingenuous to say that I do and just like look up a famous, really cool painting. But I would have to say I've always been fascinated by the black paintings by Francisco Goya. Jarvis asks, what do you think of poetry? I really like poetry, and I actually used to make some poetry myself. They weren't any good. I would say a lot of people liked them. Like the very few people, I say a lot, but the very few people that read them really liked them. So I really love poetry. I'm a little iffy with the super loose definitions of poetry. I'm not some sort of traditionalist, but the ones that are just like complete gibberish, I think in my opinion are not as cool. Obviously, you enjoy whatever you want, of course. I highly respect that. But for me, I like the ones that are clear, that have a clear structure, that have a clear story, but still give me the same effect as something as abstract as all those sort of more gibberish type of poems. I could even like make my own poetry, and I actually plan on making my own poetry and posting it on Patreon. What song makes you feel like you're floating? Oh, so anything by Home, I will say. The synthwave type of songs, Joji songs, Dancing in the Dark, Slow Dancing in the Dark, Sanctuary, Levitating by Dua Lipa, Levitate by Imagine Dragons. Actually, yeah, I'll say Levitate by Imagine Dragons. Wow, such a good song. Okay. What song would you play in the opening credits of a movie about your life? That is an amazing question. So I have 4. So number 1 is I Want It All. I mean, 4 is I Want It All by Queen. Especially the part where he goes, I can't even do it. Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. Night Fever by the Bee Gees. And this one is the number 1, Material Girl by Madonna. Because I'm a bad bitch. You understand? Okay, cool. Have you ever confessed to anyone before? Yes, I have. And maybe at some point I could tell you guys the story. If you're interested, of course. Are you alright if your girlfriend reads BL, which I believe they mean as boys love? I mean, yeah. Whatever you want to enjoy. What are some of the names you would like to name your future child? So I have a list. I'll start with a female name. So I'm always fascinated by Jeremy as a female name. Ofri, Lillian, Cynthia, Juno, and Vanessa. I'm very partial towards Lillian, Cynthia, and Juno. And for boys, there's Lionel or Lionel, Cole, Yuno, and Liam. Those 4. I think those 4 are super cool names. Luxertamol asks, who are you going to choose? Someone you love or someone who loves you? Ha 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 ha. Might as well make it mwah ha ha ha. Dear me. Goodness. I think I'll have to say I'll just assume that they cannot reciprocate, or I cannot reciprocate at all. I think I'll choose someone I love. Because if it's someone who loves me, I just feel bad not being able to reciprocate. But for someone you love, it's something that I can control a bit more because, it's me. And I think if I truly loved someone, that I would be able to let them go and I would be able to enjoy and see them, to just enjoy seeing them happy from afar. So I'll have to say that. Oh my. Someone asks, what turns you on? Naughty, 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 naughty. Of confidence, I'd say. Confidence. You can interpret that in any way you want, though I did not give you much to interpret. The best compliment you ever received, and what's the most comforting thing someone has ever said to you? Well, honestly, anything from you guys has just been so crazy. But if I were to pick from real life, someone said, and this is because I don't drink or I don't go to any parties, I don't have vices. I just made an offhanded comment to someone that I was like, I can't really go to parties because I feel like I would just be so boring there. I wouldn't really do anything. And they said that, like, there's no way, like, even if you weren't drinking, you're still the life of the party. So that's one of the nicest comments and most comforting things that I've heard from someone. Is it okay to be selfish for our dreams? To an extent. If it's selfish to the point where you're stepping on other people, then no. If it's selfish to the point where, you prioritize yourself at times, especially, that's not even being selfish. So no, I don't think it's okay to be selfish in the traditional sense, but just be a little selfish for yourself in the sense that you take care of yourself and that you prioritize what it is that makes you happy and what makes your loved ones happy. What would you say to someone that feels like giving up? Well, I can't say that it's okay because it's not. It's not okay. And it's a case to case basis, but I would love to generally say that I just want them to know that I'm here for them, that I'm listening to them, that they're not alone. I think so much of it is people that keep on trying to force their happiness onto people that feel like giving up, right? Like, I want to say, like, thank you for sharing this with me. And I want you to know that this changes nothing about the way I see you. I'm just generally happy that you're sharing all of this with me. And I would love to work on your things with you, right? I want you to know that me as your friend, that I'm trying hard for you. And I would hope that you try your hardest as well for yourself and for me. I can see that you're trying to improve, even if you feel like you're not. And I appreciate the day by day improvement that you're experiencing, that you're fighting towards. And I know it would be easier to give up, but there's just so much life that we can look forward to, no? With you, with me, there's just so much that we can do. So that is what I would say. Okay, we're going up into the home stretch here. This is like a 1 hour and a half video, dear me. How do you motivate yourself to keep going when you aren't feeling good about what you do? Wow, that is by hell. Honestly, I'm not too sure exactly. It's hard to motivate yourself. Well, I guess the number one thing is I want you to look back at why it is that you started doing it. Maybe it was for family, maybe it was for yourself, maybe because it was just something you wanted to try, right? If you can rekindle that type of magic, especially if it's something you do for someone, then I feel like that would definitely help motivate you to do something that you aren't feeling good about doing. Just know that there is, like, all the hard work that you're putting in. Like, at the end of the day, it sucks. Yeah, I agree. But there is a reason why you're doing all of this. There is a reason why you're putting so much effort into something that you don't even feel good about, right? At the end of the day, you're learning. Maybe you're failing. Maybe you're not doing as well as you'd hope, and you're just not doing something you'd like in general. But you're still learning, right? Day by day, you are getting better as a person. If you're trying to be decent, you are getting better. And all these little things that you're going through with something that you're not enjoying, it can be applied to something that you do enjoy in the future, right? Sometimes we just really have to put our heads down and know and remind ourselves of why we're doing this, through what we did in the past, and what we thought of in the past and what we're looking forward to in the future. So yeah, that is how I would motivate myself. Hell. Another question from Hell: do you ever get imposter syndrome? So for the people that are not familiar with imposter syndrome, I'll try to explain it as best as I can. So when you're in a situation, say for example, I'm a college student at I'm a college, like an English major, right? And I'm in a class of 50 people. So it's a good school, and I already put in the work, but I feel like I don't belong. I feel like these people don't know who I am, and the real me is someone that is completely inferior. So you are an imposter in your mind. So that is the imposter syndrome. I hope I explained that well. But honestly, hell, I think I'm one of the few people that do not experience an imposter syndrome. Well, I used to as a kid, of course. But I feel like I've just outgrown that because I've been thinking of it so much. And I've just been reminding myself to be optimistic and to know that I will fail and that I have failed. But there's just no point in dwelling on that because I know what I'm capable of. There are so many people that say that of the thing all the things that I'm capable of, but also more importantly, I just know what I've done, I know what I've experienced, and I'm decently good at reminding myself of the things that I've accomplished. So maybe yes, that I am inferior to them in some ways, but I will never sell myself short and think for a second that I do not belong um, in the situation that I'm in, that I do not belong my blessings. There may be some freak situations where maybe I'm an actual imposter and I do not belong in the situation, but for just general day to day life, I know my worth and you know your worth. And we cannot waste time and sell ourselves short in such an eventful life that we will eventually lead, right? So yes, what is your favorite aspect of life? Just the fact that so many little things can make me so happy, I think, is my favorite aspect. Laji Bolola underscore Simferthoma asks, where do you find unexpected places of beauty? What a beautiful question. That is genuinely very nice. Where do I find unexpected places of beauty? In people that I don't understand. I mean, not that. In people that I don't agree with. Respectful people that I don't agree with, to be specific. Because if you're always agreeing on something, then you're not going to learn as much compared to talking to someone who you disagree with. And if you're both respectful about the things that you agree to disagree on, then I think it's just so beautiful, and you learn so much. Katara asks, is love for you complicated or not? That depends, and that is also a good question. All of these are good questions. For me, I think the concept of love itself is not complicated at all, but the situations surrounding love can be. But I guess it'd be pretty difficult to separate love from the situations you get from being in love. So love for me simply is just when, and it doesn't even have to be a relationship thing. If something happens to you and you want to tell them about it, if you wake up and maybe you hear the notification of their message and you're excited, I think that is love. If you want to put themselves in some aspects of your life, in many aspects of your life, you think of them and you want to put them ahead of you, that is love. If you are forgiving of someone, if you are accepting of their flaws, and if you want to help them, that is love. I feel like love can be clearly defined in that way. I just think it's generally being kind, generally wanting to treat people well, for me is love. But of course, the situations around it can be very complicated. You can ask so many questions and have so many nuances, and it's really a case-to-case basis. But I think at the end of the day, if you love someone, you work, I guess, especially in a relationship, if you love someone, you work on it. So many nuances can be ironed out by communicating. So many nuances can be worked out by just being a decent person. And truly loving someone means you respect them and you give them the due diligence. You perform the due diligence of loving them, of caring for them, and for communicating. And that's honestly the language that I try to speak with my audios, right? So, Katara, I think love is not complicated. What's something you finally accepted? I guess a bit of a lighter answer would be that I have a nice voice. I finally accepted that. I mean, I already accepted it a bit before, but hearing thousands of people say it has not diminished uh, the excitement that I get from reading it. Quite the opposite, actually. But it has helped me accept it. Last two questions from Cams. What are the four things you love? Number one, my friends. Number two, my family. Okay, let's keep it fresh. So I'm not gonna include the basic ones. Number one, you guys. Number two, making audios, I guess. um, Number three, freedom, independence. And number four, my faith. And Jarvis, I'll end it off with Jarvis asks, how did you get to be so gosh darn sweet? So they actually used a bit of a more no type of word. It's nothing harmful at all. But I just wanted to use gosh darn. How did you get to be so gosh darn sweet? Genuine question. Well, Jarvis, it's so easy to be sweet to all of you guys when you guys are so sweet back. And I hope that answers your question. Oh, wow. I believe I went through about 100 or so questions. I'm looking at the recording now and I'm nearing a minute and 50. And that is genuinely so crazy. I'm so sorry if you guys just hate hearing my voice now. I do not blame you. But I hope you appreciated all of that. So yeah, I guess moving on to the closing remarks. Just thank you guys so much for all the support that I've gotten over the past few months, over the past 2 months. Not even 2 months, month and a half. I did not expect, as I answered before, I did not expect to grow as quickly as I did. But I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy in general that I found a community that is as loving, that is as thankful, that is as helpful, that is as wholesome as each and every single one of you guys, as our community. And the fact that I was able to help make it, and the fact that I was able to propagate, to create such an environment where all these wonderful people can let out their trauma, let out their problems to all these groups of people, it just makes my heart so warm. And I really cannot put into words just how thankful I am to be in this position. I'm so sorry, guys. I am so gassy. But yeah, I just want all of you to know that even if I'm not able to respond to all of the comments, I read each and every single one of them. And I'm so appreciative of each and every single one of them. Please do not, because I've read this from all the people that don't give me traditionally positive comments. Please don't feel like you're spreading hate. You are not. I want to be held accountable if I do slip up on things like the pronoun thing. I want to be held accountable, and I want you guys to be honest with me. If it doesn't help you, it doesn't help. That's completely fine. I just want to be able to provide comfort in some way through my other audios or whatever the case may be. And yeah, I just genuinely don't know what to say, guys. I'm gonna try not to ramble too much, but I feel like you guys deserve just all the love in the world. I'm so glad that I was able to see the human past the number. I've said that like thrice now, but it's so true. I'm so happy. To each and every single one of you, I wish I could just run up and hug and get to know all of you, but it's physically impossible. But I wish I could. I really do. And we'll have to settle for the audios. We'll have to settle for the comments, but I'm honestly happy with the way things are. So yeah, that is it. All I really wanted to say. I'm kind of drawing a blank. I've been talking for 2 hours at this point. I hope you all enjoyed the drawing. I hope you all enjoyed this Q&A in general. And I am so looking forward to all the heights that we reach in the future. And I would love to take you guys along for the ride. Thank you guys so much, and much love. Woo, my goodness, 2 hours, baby. Much love.